Is Starlink still worth it in 2026? Ours has just got an issue and we need to get it rectified so we can stay out here off grid and stay connected. Is this little dish still the answer to everybody staying connected out here whilst traveling around, or is it now obsolete in 2026? After 2 months, our Starlink Mini is officially broken. We cannot run it off 12 volt. So come with us and we share our experience about how Starlink treats us right now with our issue. Can we get back on the road with it? Because we need it, mate. And this is not helping. Starlink, mate, it's arrived. We had to get it sent to a friend's place because they wouldn't go to a PO box again. We've got some great friends close by, so we just had it sent to them, which was really good. Now, the whole process on Starlink themselves, absolutely phenomenal, mate. We didn't do anything different than anyone else would. We're definitely not sponsored by them or anything like that, but we tried a few different things with the system, factory resets, trying different sockets and stuff like that to get the 12 volt charging to start, and that didn't work. So we started a ticket with them. I think it must be AI generated. They were very generic, basic questions, but we just told them the issue. They asked a few questions. Bang, they said, no worries, we've just logged in. It looks like your Starlink has a 12 volt issue. And mate, within 2 days, have a go at this beauty. So, today is the day. We have to now set this one up and swap out the other one. I cannot credit Starlink enough for that service. We have honestly had 2 issues with them. We had the first gen and it just would not work at the time, and the service that they gave them was phenomenal. And then this one, the exact same, no questions asked, just in and out. We could still use it on mains sort of power and that worked fine. It just used a little bit more battery than our 12 volt. So we are going to connect this. We are going to ship the other one back, and then I am going to give you a rundown on our experience. We are coming up to 3 years full-time using Starlink. We've now switched over to Starlink Mini, and I think it's about time we give you a little review on how we're finding it as full-time travel and the 12 volt. We've got so much to break down. So stick around, let's get this sorted, and then we've got to find camp.
We have our Starlink mounted up here in the roof hatch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the old one down and replace it with the new one. Fingers crossed there is no issue with the new one and we can get this one shipped back.
Was that satisfying? You didn't make it look satisfying.
It was satisfying.
Oh wow, what a thing of beauty.
Alright, so you got the dish. You also get the wall socket, a pole mount. So this one comes with just the kickstand, but you can swap that out for this one and it allows you to put it on something that's a pole, and it comes with the cord for the AC power. You do have to buy the 12 volt USB-C cord separately, but it does come with this one.
Oh, plug that Starlink in.
Cord.
So you're going to plug it into the 12 volt and just test it before we do anything else.
Yeah. Beautiful. It's working. Yay. Now time to get out of this parking lot and go find somewhere where we can show you how Starlink's been working for us while we've been traveling Canada. Well, Starlink certainly made that process a lot easier for us than we expected. Sometimes things can be really hard to swap out, especially on the road, but Starlink really came to the party, swapped us out. We are now back running it on the USB-C, which is fantastic, saving us a little bit of power, which is what we need out here off grid. Starlink has now been around for about 7 years, and we still get asked, is it worth having, is it worth upgrading to travel around these beautiful countries and stay connected? Now look, that is certainly a personal perspective, but I want to share our experience and share our thoughts with you guys, so hopefully that can help you make a decision as to whether Starlink is right for you, whether you're at home, traveling around, or doing multiple countries like we are planning. Is this dish the game changer that everyone is searching for? Before we actually moved here to Canada, we were told that Starlink is not needed. There is so much cell service here that we'll be fine to actually live off our phones and just hotspot to our laptops and get everything we needed done.
We quickly learnt that that is not the case, and Starlink is still needed. The places that we try and go to and get away from those crowds, get away from those cities, we do not have cell service. So for us, even here in Canada, being told that all the cell service is everywhere you travel was not the case, unfortunately. And this dish still is our lifesaver, especially doing YouTube on the road. Here in Canada so far, we have found it quite funny that a lot of the campgrounds are surrounded by these beautiful trees. And as it starts to warm up, a lot of people are going to park under these trees. So if you are one of those people that are trying to chase the shade, get away from the sun, it is going to limit the dish. If the dish cannot have a direct line to the sky, it is going to be obstructed, and you might just find a few little dropouts here and there in between those trees. But if you're like us and you enjoy the sunshine and you park out here in the elements just like we are now, where there is no trees obstructing us, you are going to be fine. As long as you have a clear direct link to the sky, you are going to have your Starlink running to the optimum performance it has and keep you connected. Why do we have it, and why do we choose to travel with it? We are trying to run a business here with chasing dreams, doing YouTube, doing online work, working for brands, and we need to stay connected. Otherwise, we cannot get our uploads done because we just do not have the cell service, or we would have to leave a beautiful spot like this just because we need to get this exact video uploaded right now. But because we have the dish, we get to stay here, enjoy the peace and quiet, stay away from those crowds, and get our work done out here in these beautiful spots. So for us, just that alone is absolutely priceless. Then comes the personal perspective. If you're going to travel around, but you don't want to run a business, you don't want to work on the road, it's staying connected. It's such a big thing these days. Yes, we are less connected than we have ever been before, but we tell ourselves that staying connected online is our connection, and that is the way we communicate these days. It is what it is. If you're a grandparent wanting to stay up to date with what the kids are doing, what the grandkids are doing, not missing those special moments whilst being out here on the road, it is a must. Honestly, you're going to need it. Unfortunately, it is just one of these things that these days everything is technology, everything is on your phone, on your laptop, on your TV that needs to be connected to Wi-Fi. If you answer those questions and say, no, we want to stay away from all that, we just want to get out there, listen to the river, actually communicate to the people around you, maybe it's not for you, and that is okay. But you need to know those questions first and whether it actually suits you. Now, pricing. Australia, we were paying $195 roughly per month to have this connected, which is pretty expensive, yes, but that is unlimited. We can travel around anywhere within Australia at the time. And now here in Canada, it is $195 again, but they charge tax. You can also get it a bit cheaper, and then there is the multi-country pack, which we don't know about yet, but it is something that we might look at as we start to plan our journey from here in Canada to Argentina and really see if that's beneficial. The benefit with our Roam package as well, say we do want to fly off, go somewhere else, or we've just got a month where we're sitting at a area that has great service, we can pause this dish, stop that service, and then restart it whenever we need, which is absolutely fantastic. So if you are someone who only going to travel throughout certain periods of the year, you might want to pause your service, save that money, and then reconnect it again when you plan on traveling down the track, which is a great option to have, and it gives you that peace of mind that you could still stay connected out there traveling and pause it when you do not need it. I also think there is a great safety factor with it. Now, no matter where we travel, we can get service. So if we are stuck in the middle of a track, as long as we can get this dish to face the sky, we can reach communication and get help wherever we are around Canada, which is honestly something that is great peace of mind for us. Sometimes we've chosen a track. Actually, this spot right here, to be honest, we pushed a little bit further than we should have during winter. We got stuck, but having that peace of mind and knowing in the back of our minds that if things really hit the fan, plug this in, get some communication to the town just down the road and get some help to get out and get back on the road. It's a great peace of mind, a great great safety aspect. Now, does that mean that null and voids satellite phones? I honestly don't have that answer. We have never traveled with one, especially since we got this dish because of it. Is that the right call? You let me know in the comments whether a satellite phone is now obsolete and you just run off the dish, or is it still worth at least having both to really have that backup? Because when it hits the fan, it normally hits it hard. So you let me know what your thoughts are, whether you need both, or is the Starlink the answer to all? A big question everyone asks is speeds. I have no clue. All right, I cannot answer that. I don't understand it. What I can tell you is my wife tells me that uploading these YouTube videos takes a lot of data and it needs a lot of signal strength. With Starlink, as long as we have that clear view to the sky, we have never had an issue. When it is obstructed just a little bit, it'll take that little bit longer, but it still gets it done. It always finds that satellite to make sure we get our videos uploaded. So I can honestly tell you that this hasn't missed a beat in getting our videos up, which uses a lot of data, so I'm told. Also, streaming on Netflix, streaming on YouTube, we have never ever had an issue with it. It gets everything we personally need done. We've never tried gaming, so I can't speak on that aspect. And the only thing I really know about it is that when we had internet back at our house, it was actually slower than what this dish is. And we're out here in the middle of nowhere, camped up, and we're getting the best speeds possible, which is absolutely mind-blowing to me. Now, back in Oz, we actually traveled with the massive dish. It was big, probably as big as my torso, to be honest with you. Now, we've switched over to the mini, and I know a big question is it worth it? Or do you lose a lot of data from the big dish moving on to the small one? Now, honestly, that was a big reason as to why we didn't swap out and just saved our money with the big dish that we had. And now that we've swapped over to the mini, we have found no difference whatsoever, to be honest, other than we now get to save a lot of space. It uses a lot less power, whether you're plugged into the normal AC or running it on 12 volt. It's a lot easier to do the USB-C connection. So that is a really big plus, especially if you're going to do it traveling like we are. Saving power is such a big thing, so you can stay off grid longer. And the Starlink Mini, honestly, we cannot fault it compared to the other one. We have seen no difference, no change, other than being able to store it in much better places, put it in little spots throughout our setup that it would fit where the big one would not, unfortunately. So the Starlink Mini in our scenario, we have found to be the absolute best. And what a little ripper, mate. Well, there you have it, guys. We have been running Starlink for 3 years now. We have tested the Gen 2, we have tested the Gen 3, and now the Starlink Mini. And honestly, our recommendation or advice, if you are going to travel around these beautiful countries, Starlink Mini is the way to go, and an absolute gem of staying with your Wi-Fi system anywhere in the world. Guys, let us know. Are you going to stick with the big dish? Are you transferring over to the Starlink Mini? Do you think it's a requirement out here to stay off grid but stay connected? I want to hear it all. You are an absolute bloody legend, and we will catch you next time out here in these beautiful spots as Canada has started to warm up, and we cannot wait to share it. See ya!